Sunday. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you guys are having a beautiful Sunday. I hope that you have had a wonderful weekend so far, and I hope this next upcoming week is a fabulous one for you. So, before we get started, if you don't know who I am, I'm Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and you can learn a little bit more about me by checking out the information box down below. You can check out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. You could check out the Witchy Shop, Desert Cauldron. You could check out all those goodies, Patreon and YouTube members, all of that good stuff down below. And yeah, so like I said, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Today actually is my godson Tamarin's birthday, so I'm actually here today in Casa Grande, staying with my friends Tony and Tamika and all their boys, and we are going to have a birthday celebration today, which is why I decided to get all gussied up. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good morning. Hey, Susie's here. What up, sis? How are you? All right, so I want to, before we get started, give some love to our homies on here. So first and foremost, to all of our mighty moderators who you notice have the wrench of destiny right next to their name, like our beautiful Susie Gemini. So thank you. And all of our subscribers and all the homies that like to hang out with us during the live chats, and everybody who watches, channeling videos. And oh, by the way, there's going to be a deck review on the Horses Oracle coming out soon. But yeah, thank you to my YouTube members, Kayla, Nancy, Astrid, and Jolene, and all of my patrons, Lily, Dana, Jamie, Kayla, Suri, and Brandy, Jason, Brian, Karen, Sarah, Palu, Crystal, Easy Does It, Oz, Joel, Mikey, Casey Gritter, Stasio, and Haverfrios. So thank you. I love you guys. Let's see. Oh, hey, Lily's here too. What's up? Oh, by the way, you guys. Okay, so you guys know that we decided to kind of morph the channeling series just a little bit. There are different people, we call them like guest interviewers, coming on to ask the questions of the energies that come forward. And Lily is actually one of those interviewers, and she created a video with me, and that video is coming out tomorrow at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, which would be 7 a.m. Pacific and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm like time zones. But we had my friend Tony and his son Tamarin, actually the boy who's turning 23 today. They did the very first kind of guest channeling video that we created. Our friend Dana Clemente, she was able to do that second video. I have a few other people, a few patrons who are willing to ask questions. Some people chose to not have their like visual shown, some people did. So that part is all up to you guys. All we ask is for your wonderful questions, your beautiful questions, because I think that it's fantastic to really involve our community. And you guys have great questions too. James, fantastic interviewer, fantastic with his questions. Like I could never ask questions like James could. He's absolutely wonderful at that. But I think that you guys do really well at that as well. You all have different perspectives, you have different backgrounds, different belief systems, different, ways of getting at things. And so I think it's great. But if you're interested in becoming a guest interviewer, just email me, Tara@kittensweightsandtarot.com, and that link is down below as well. Kayla says, hey, I have to update info, but I'm still a member. Yeah, Kayla, one of our other mighty moderators. Thank you. Cosmic Conversations, what is up? Susie says, can't wait to watch Lily and Tara. Oh, that was a fun one. She was able to ask questions of an energy that came forward of love. It was the energy of love. I didn't know what was going to come forward. There were some subscribers that had requested a channeling on the energy of love. So I was like, I didn't know what being was going to come forward, but it seemed like it was like a mix of beings all speaking as one. I don't know. It's really hard to describe. But that was an interesting one. And I think Lily did a great job. Last week, we did a drones channeling, and Dana was able to ask the questions on that one. And before that, it was spirit attachments, because my friend Tony and Tamarin, and well, his wife Tamika as well, they all speak of like energies being attached to them. They kind of wanted to know why, but first from their personal experience. But I think that it helped a lot of people as well. So yay! Oh, hey, Patrick is here. What up, dude? So yeah, okay. Today we're going to do our weekly reading, and I highly encourage you to tap in for that weekly reading as well. So whether you are slinging cards or runes or pendulums, or you're just channeling and downloading those messages, I encourage you to do that, because instead of just, getting messages from my higher self, I think it's great when we all have input from our higher selves, because it just creates a more well-rounded weekly reading, I feel. And then afterwards, we have what you guys voted on in the weekly poll. So on Thursday, I put out a poll on my YouTube page. I also put it out for my YouTube members, and I put it out for Patreon. And actually, thank you, YouTube members and Patreon, because you were able to squeak on in the actual winning votes. And so the winning votes for today, we're going to be doing light language activation. And so that was something that I really felt called to do, which is why I put it as an option. And I was so glad that it squeaked in, because I was like, my higher self's like, we need to do this. So we'll be doing that. After that, we can do super chats and super stickers. If you want me to pull a card for you, I'd be more than happy. And then, we'll do our channeled guided meditation and call it a beautiful Sunday. And I will go party with my godson. Let's see. Oh, hey, Silver Star is here. What up? Susie, Lily, Kayla, Tara, Cosmic. Hello, beautiful fam. I'm going to lurk, not in a great mood, and want to at least say hi. Love to you all. Hi, miss you all. Mwah. Love you, love you, love you, Heather. I hope that you are going to have a better rest of your day, and hopefully our shenanigans here will help lift your mood. Storm Fever says, ooh, your earrings you made look lovely. Thank you. You guys recognize them. So we made them last live chat, actually, our triple goddess earrings. So those of you that missed it, definitely go watch the replay on that one. We got to make these live, actually together, because I had kind of no idea what they were going to look like. I just had all my supplies out. I was like, let's go for it. Everybody's sending Heather lots of love. Susie say, yay, party with the godson. And oh my goodness, with Tamarin. Okay, so I've known my best friend Tony since we were in 7th grade. And I remember when he met Tamika, and I remember when they started dating. And then I remember when she was pregnant with Tamarin. And then now the boy is 23 years old. Like, it feels like time doesn't really pass. And then, you look and all the kids are growing up, and I'm just like, he's a young man now. My goodness. Oh, Kiki's here. Hello, says gracious greetings. My birthday is Monday. You know what? We have to sing happy birthday, because not only is it Tamarin's birthday, but we have Kiki Law's birthday on Monday. So I think it's time for a little happy birthday celebration. Heather said, just sad. Love you all too. Well, we'll send good jujus anyway. Okay. Let's do that first. Let's do a little happy birthday. Feel free to chime in and sing too. Okay. Are you ready for everybody celebrating a birthday right now? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all the people who are celebrating birthdays. Happy birthday to you. Boop, 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 be doop. What did my parents used to do? Oh yeah, they used to come up to you and they'd say, a pinch to grow an inch, and then they'd punch your arm. They say, a punch to grow a bunch. Yeah, and then they would try to commence with the birthday spankings. I'm like, this is corporal punishment. I was like, we're like when I had turned 21 and my mom still wanted to give me birthday spankings. I'm like, okay, hello. 21, I don't think so. That's too much. Superstar saying happy birthday to you. Oh, yay. Okay, so I have a few decks here with me for this week. I actually brought quite a few to Tony and Tamika's house. So I have the Herb Crafters Tarot with me. I'm not sure I'm going to use them all, but I kind of wanted to have a pick with the live chat today. I have the Oracolo Jade, the Jade Oracle. I also have the Shultun Tarot. And the last two, one I forgot was in my purse, so technically I had only brought 4 and I forgot about the 5th one. But I have the Divine Animals Oracle and the Mars Power Tarot. So like I said, probably not going to use all these, but that's cool. All right. So let's go ahead and start diving into this weekly reading. So like I said, I highly encourage you guys to jump on in with your intuition as well, because you guys are all amazing. So yeah, okay. And what do you guys have planned for today? I know we have birthday celebrations here, but what do you guys have planned for today? Do you have anything coming up for the week, or is it just pretty chillax, maybe Netflix it and just, be in the hermit mode, or maybe you guys are more in an action mode? I don't know. Looks like everybody was singing over there. Oh, Cosmic Ring says, your hair is so awesome. Hello. Well, thank you. Thank you, my little skunk streak. Kiki says, I'm hiding in a salt cave for my birthday. Dude, I would so go into a salt cave. That's amazing. I love that. That is so cool. Cosmic Ring says, pretty relaxed. Gonna nap soon. Oh, man. I think I'm part kitty cat because I love me a good nap. Susie is going to do some nature walking later. Fabulous. I like that. Very nice. Okay. You know what I want to do? I want to pull actually from the Jade Oracle. For our kind of theme card for the week. Cosmic Conversations. Hey, this is OMG, so many birthdays. Mine was Friday. Hey, happy birthday to you too. Oh my goodness. So many beautiful January birthdays. Starting off the new year, a new 365 days, a new trip around the sun. Okay. Let's see. What do we have cooked up for this week? Okay. All right. Fly out. Why don't you? Okay. Oh, we have Oshomoko and Sipaktonal. So this is the primordial twins or the primordial couple. Okay. So the story on this is that according to the Maya, at the beginning of creation, there was the keepers of the calendar, basically, and the calendar had both a masculine and feminine aspect to it, and it's called the Tzolk'in calendar, which is a 260-day calendar, and that's the calendar I follow. Of course, I also follow the Gregorian calendar because that's what the rest of the world be following, but but the 260-day calendar, for some, depending on how they view the Tzolk'in calendar, some viewed New Year's being a few days ago. Others will be viewing New Year's somewhere in late February, early March, kind of a mix of like the lunar calendar, but also with the kind of the Tzolk'in calendar, which follows more closely the rotation of Venus's orbit. So anyway, with this masculine and feminine energy, the masculine was able to kind of put things into motion, but all of the creativity that was added into it was of the divine feminine. So it's this kind of balance of masculine and feminine working together, working in harmony, not only for the time, the calendar, but also within ourselves. And so for this upcoming week, I feel like this is an understanding of trying to rebalance that masculine and feminine within ourselves, and also taking a look at where that masculine and feminine is being represented outside of ourselves. Because remember that everything is a mirror for us. All the people, all the situations, everything is just a reflection of what's going on in here. And so if I, let's say, notice in my environment that I'm being surrounded by tons and tons of masculine, it could be, and you have to check in with your intuition, but it could be that either I am so much in my feminine that I'm lacking the masculine, and the masculine's trying to show up for me, trying to say, hey, it's time to rebalance that masculine within yourself so that you have that nice balance of action and receptivity at the same time. That, each has their own tools, but when you bring them together, it creates this beautiful harmony. Or it could mean, again, utilizing your intuition, let's say I'm surrounded by all this masculine. It could mean that I'm too much in my masculine, too much in my action, go, 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 logic, 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 think, think, think. And I'm not so much listening to maybe my intuition or my emotions or my receptivity or that wild creativity that we have, so definitely take a look into that this week. What does my environment mostly look like? The people that surround me, would I say they're more masculine, more feminine, or maybe it's a beautiful balance of the two? And then that maybe perhaps I'm pretty balanced inside, or maybe I need to balance myself inside. But like I said, take some time out this week to do a bit of a meditation, a little bit of a check-in. Where do I feel? Do I feel I'm too much action? Do I feel that I'm too much in flow and not enough action? Things like that. So definitely take a look. But again, this is Oshimoko and Sepaktonal. All right, so let's go back here. Oh, wow. Cosmic Ring says, how do you pick your oracles? Do you pick one you like or one that calls to you? It's usually the ones that call to me. So it's, I don't know, just kind of like a feeling inside where you're like, you're, I'm working with you today. So I guess kind of like friends talking to each other. There's my oracle decks, which technically are just aspects of me. They're just permission slips for my intuition. So my intuition's like, you want a permission slip? Let's use this deck. Susie says, I highly recommend Tara's Mayan astrology class. Learned so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's something people were asking about, were the classes that I offer over at my Leon Mystery School on my website. And so there are a few different classes. There's crystal classes, there's Mayan astrology class, there's like a love spell class, there's looking into past lives class. So, but yeah, if you're interested in understanding, learning, just like kind of dipping your toe into Mayan astrology, yeah, I would highly recommend that class. But I am biased, so. Cosmic Ring says, ooh, I never knew some cultures follow other planets and not the moon or the sun. Yes, I mean, they do honor the sun with the Heb calendar, and they do honor the moon, because they have even a goddess that is connected to the moon, Ishel, which is my matron goddess. She's, I guess, kind of considered a triple goddess. But Venus was very, very important with the culture. And so that 260-day calendar is roughly connected to the 260-day orbit of Venus. Susie said, she's the best Mayan astrologer. Thank you. Cosmic Ring says, mine tend to be a good mix. All right, cool. Susie says, I have missed you all, missed my female friends. We missed you too, Susie, so much. Susie said, Cosmic, me too. I have a few male friends. She said, Tara is excellent. Well, thank you. I used to have for the longest time more male friends than I did female friends. And I think now I have kind of a good balance between my male friends and my female friends. And I believe that way back when, I had connected more with the male aspect because I felt very wounded by the female aspect. And mostly that came through, my mother and things like that. But as I've been working on my healing, I've been opening back up to not only having female friends, but working on opening up the divine feminine within, because I believe that I was in a very masculine energy. I was an athlete. I was a tomboy, and not that you can't be feminine and be those things, but I think that I was overtly so, where I was all action and all logic. And although I did have a creative side, I would always kind of put that off to the side in favor of my masculine energy. And so now I think I'm getting good at balancing the two. So I will definitely continue working with this energy this week and looking around in my environment. Cosmic Ring says, I always watch your videos while coloring, always do calming. Feels like I'm having a chat with a friend, even if it's just through the screen. Aw, so nice. That's awesome. I love that. I love that. And John is here. Hey, our buddy John. Speaking of the divine masculine. Hey, John. And Susie says, Cosmic, no worries. I'm on a phone. You will see typos. Dude, don't get me started on typos. Like, people must think I'm having a seizure or something when I'm typing, because I try to do like the dictation, and then I'll type something, and then just before I send it, it auto corrects itself with words that are not even in existence in any language, and then it sends them like, what did you do, phone? That's not what I said. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, so let's get a little clarification on this today too. So I have the herb crafter, so let's do that. Let's pull a few cards for that. And hey, if you like I said, if you guys are getting some messages for this week, definitely share. I love hearing what you guys have to say. I love the cards that you pull. I love the downloads that you guys get. I 100% fully believe that, we all have an intuition. We can all channel. We can all bring down messages, because we are spirit. We are energy, and energy, its form of communication and interaction is through the intuition, or what we call intuition. So, if we're made of energy, then we have all of these things. We have intuition, and we all utilize it in different ways. Some of us channel and we don't even know we're channeling. It could be channeling into your coloring. It could be channeling into drawing, into singing, into the things that you guys are creating, your writing, and a lot of intuition flows through that as well. So Cosmic Rings, literally. And Silver Star says, I can relate, Tara. Sitting in my sun lamp, think I need a recharge. Went to a family party for my husband, always throwing my energy off no matter what I do. Wow. Yeah, sometimes when we're just around a lot of energy, even if it's wonderful people, sometimes we just need a bit of a recharge, and I understand. So, hey, you do you, boo. This is probably why I was sad this morning. I could see that. And sometimes we soak up other people's energy, and, let's say, we might be sad, and we may not be like, well, there's no reason, like technical, like 3D reason for me to be sad, but it could be that either, just kind of like abruptly in that energy and then out of that energy could make one to feel sad, or maybe even picking up the sadness of other people, where sometimes we might be just like a ball of energy and light, and some people really like that, and unknowingly, it's all subconscious, they take some of that happiness because they are, maybe feeling a bit down in the dumps. They don't have to be like depressed, but they could just be a little bit down. And then, unknowingly, we have this energetic exchange. That's like, I will take some of that sadness so that you can have some happiness. And then we're left feeling like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not feeling so good. So definitely, like I said, recharge. I think that's a wonderful idea. Cosmic Ring says, do you have a beginner video on how to channel and download? You know what? James and I were talking about actually making a video like that. So I will have to talk to him, because he's actually back home in Palo Alto. And we're thinking of, like, every once in a while doing maybe a channeling video together, or like the how to. We did do a channeling Q&A. So if you check out the channeling playlist, look under channeling Q&A. It's towards the beginning of the channeling series, not the very beginning. And I know a lot has changed since then, so maybe I have to update that one. But I think it's good information, so definitely check it out. But yeah, I do want to do something like that. I think that would be great, and it would just be from my perspective. Like I said, not everybody channels the same because we're all. I mean, technically, we're all made of the same stuff, right? We're all one, but how we experience life, how we do things is going to be a little bit different. But I'd be more than happy to share how I do it. And, maybe that might be a jumping off point for you guys. I see. Susie says, just drew the Grail Knight for us, romance illusion, seeking the sacred. Ooh. And Silver Star says, Cosmic, watch her old Building Your Intention vids. They were so helpful. Well, thank you. Thank you. Susie says, Heather, yes, sending you healing. Recharge, chica. Cosmic Ring says, I dabbed in tarot, but never really purposefully downloaded for channel for my knowledge. Oh, okay. The first time I really started using tarot cards when I bought my first deck, it was like my second year of college. So this is like the year 2000, 2001, somewhere in there. And it was with a friend of mine named Callie. And there was a different friend of mine who lived in a different dorm. And she was always talking and chatting with spirits. And I saw spirits all the time, but I used to be frightened of them. And so it was like, I'm glad I went to college at Long Beach State because I got to meet some really unique characters who really helped me to open up my intuition. And so I kind of say like that's kind of where I got my footing of like my fear dissipating and more my curiosity taking over of like, well, let's try to look into this instead of like, run away from it. Because, when I was a little kid and everything, all these things that I couldn't explain, they frightened me. And, I think that's why. Well, I know that is why I do this YouTube channel with like the channel videos, or even if I'm just doing a deck review or hanging out with you guys in a live chat, I don't want people to be afraid of what is essentially themselves, our own energy, and that we're just trying to communicate and understand the world around us. And so that's why we might see or feel or get these downloads. And so I think the more we chat about it and talk about it, the more we are empowered with knowledge. And when there's knowledge, there's usually a lack of fear because we fear the things that we don't understand. The more that we understand, the less fear that we have. And so that's why I love this wonderful community. Silver Star says, exactly. I figured it was being around 30 people. His father's sick and in the hospital, so it was rough. Oh, yeah. It says, just wasn't ready to be social. I could see that. And she said, I started by watching her videos to grow my intuition. Ah. And Mr. Jordan is here. He said, I find you and James absolutely adorable. My favorite hipster duo. Well, thank you. And John says, just came off 3 weeks of antibiotics for a respiratory infection. I think it's because I was too much in the masculine and didn't take time to receive. That happens sometimes. That does happen sometimes. But sending you definitely continue healing juju. Looks like everybody is sending some good vibes as well. Everybody welcoming in Mr. Jordan. And by the way, like our friend Kayla there, you notice next to her name, she's got a little colored kitty head. That's how you know who the YouTube members are, because they get special emojis. They get cool little like kitty heads next to their name. Cosmic Ring says, I'm good with doing other people, but doing cards for myself has me self-doubting. Need to watch these videos for sure. Yeah, and I think it's just practice over time, because there was a time where I would pull cards for myself and I'd be like, is that what I want to hear? Or is that really the truth? And you know what? Maybe at the beginning it was a little bit of both, but eventually, and like I said, it just took time and practice. And eventually I had to take that leap of, I believe this is my intuition. And it seems to be working out for me so far. So I was like, and my logic has no explanation for it. So if my ego has no explanation, that must mean that it's coming from somewhere outside of my ego. And therefore it's my intuition. I was like, aha. And so, but that it took many years. So, and not saying it's going to be many years for you, but I'm just saying have patience with yourself. It takes time. Silver Star says, I hope you're feeling better, John. Kayla throwing up her awesome emojis, her special ones. And hey, when I get more YouTube members, then I'm allowed to make more emojis. Like that's kind of what YouTube says is like the fun part where I get to get a little bit more creative. I get to create emojis for more members that I have. Jordan says, I'm a little too shy to talk about my problems here, so I'll probably DM Tara on Etsy afterwards. Hey, no worries. You should just come and share whatever is going on, whether we are going to parties like today, my godson's birthday, or, anything under the sun. Can even talk about things that we're building and things like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull a few cards for this week. Like I said, we started off with that theme card, the primordial couple, Oshomoko and Sipaktonal. So our beautiful couple here. All right, let's see what we have. We have the Seven of Fire, cinnamon. Ooh, and it's connected to cinnamon. I wonder if anybody recognizes this woman here. But if you follow Mayan astrology or Mayan gods and goddesses, that is Ixchel. So interesting, because I was just talking about Ixchel being triple goddess, wearing the triple goddess earrings, connected to the moon. Let's see. We also we also have the moon. Okay, and that is Datura. And then we have the Empress Rose. All right. Okay, beautiful cards for this week. That is interesting. Hey, Jordan says, it is my birthday Friday next week. Okay, Jordan, you're going to have to rewind a little bit. We got to sing a happy birthday for everybody who's having birthdays this week. It seems like a lot of people. So happy birthday to you, my friend. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful 365 days coming up for you. John says, I'm feeling better. Thank you. And Susie wishing Jordan a happy early birthday. Cosmic says, what tribe are you from? May I ask? I'm British and American tribes have always interested me. Well, my family has ancestry with Pima natives, Pima Indian. And we come from Sonora, Mexico, and up to it used to extend into southern Arizona and New Mexico. So my nana, and then they were all born in Mexico and they came up here. And but a lot of the tribal names and everything had to get switched over when during the times of the Spanish and things like that in Mexico. But yes, we are Pima. And Lily said, "Ooh, Rose." Yeah, I get it. Okay, so let's dive into this. Okay, it definitely is talking about having that balance. Okay, so and like I said, this is kind of general, so you guys might all take it differently. We all have different lives and things like this. But if during this week we get a little bit of information on something, like let's say you take your car in, I'm just giving a weird example. Let's say we take a car in and the mechanic says, okay, I'm going to have to fix the radiator hose because there's a radiator leak. All of a sudden we might be, oh my gosh, and we say, okay, we're not going to have it fixed. We're not going to fix it yet, but I'll come back. We might go, okay, oh my gosh, the radiator leak. I wonder when this happened. What else is going to go wrong? There's this, and this. And it could be we just don't have all the information. It could be the mechanic didn't have all the information. So that's kind of the message that I'm getting is make sure that you have all of the information first before taking action. So, maybe the mechanic was busy that day and he, took a quick look and saw that something looked like it was leaking, assumed it was the radiator hose. Turns out it wasn't. Turns out it was just, you just got the car washed and it's still dripping from the car wash and the mechanic didn't know that. So, make sure, again, all the information is there before taking action. So I'm kind of seeing a kind of just put a pause, a halt before like quick, immediate action on anything. So definitely, utilize that beautiful intuition of yours, and take time to just kind of slow down a little bit. I know that the masculine's like, let's just get things done. And I understand that, there are times and places where we need to get things done quickly. I was a sprinter and I ran the 100 meters. You got to go fast, right? But other times, there are times where there is a rest period. And every athlete, every person, every mother, everybody knows that there needs to be a rest period time. I know that the world can be a very fast-paced place. There's a tongue twister sometimes, but in order for that world to move on swimmingly and hum right along, we need those down times. We need the times of recharge. We need the times of, okay, the information that I just received, whoa, makes me want to take action right now, but let me just wait a little while longer. Let me get a little bit more information. Let me sit with it for a moment. Let me get clear-headed, and then I'll take action. So that's just the message for this week is definitely with these two aspects of ourselves, to bring ourselves into balance, is just wait on taking the action. I'm not saying wait forever. I'm not even saying wait the whole week. It could be wait 5 minutes. Just really sit with it, sit with your intuition, then go ahead and take some action. But yeah, alrighty. Let's see. Let's go here. Cosmic Ring says, this is fitting because my nephew was trying to say something today, but he was talking so fast, we kept assuming what he meant until we allowed him to speak. Interesting. It says, that's how I took that card. Allow people to speak, even if you think you know the answer. That's a really good message as well. I think oftentimes we're always in such a rush to like listen to people. Sometimes even when I'm having a conversation with somebody, I'm listening and I can kind of like feel what they're trying to say. So I start to assume what they actually mean instead of actually being present and just listening, because my assumptions, especially if they're just coming from my ego for the most part, are always wrong. So yeah, definitely that's really good. I love that. Sit and listen to people, let them fully finish expressing themselves, and then we can respond. Then we can, decide what we want to do next. But that's wonderful. Susie says, I do that too. Yeah, maybe it's our Gemini brains. We're always like so quick to communicate that we're like, oh, okay, like I got an answer to that. But yeah, I guess we got to chillax. Okay. All right. Are you guys ready? I'm so excited for this. Like I said, my intuition, my higher self was coming in as like, we got to do a light activation. Like I've never really put them on the internet. So this is great that we're going to do it live on the internet. If you want to do some light activation as well, but basically I'm going to tap in real quick. I'm going to talk about what the activation is, and then we'll go into it. So I was actually really excited that the Patreon and YouTube members actually pushed those votes for that light activation. So I'm like, yay. And I also have my drum. It's actually a drum that I made, and I got my little wolf here. And this was nice to use on the wolf moon that was on Monday. So kind of just connecting to my ancestors, and it was so magical. So I'm outside on the full moon, having done my spell work. I was doing a sundown ceremony, like honoring the ending of the day and the rise of the moon. And it was around midnight. I hear all these coyotes. And I go outside. All the coyotes had come to the top of the hill, right where the homestead is, and they were all howling at the moon. It was wow. I mean, we have Mexican gray wolves in the area, but I haven't heard them for a while. So, and they're very small packs. Arizona and New Mexico have been trying to reintroduce the Mexican gray wolf because they are endangered. So whenever I get to hear a wolf, it's amazing. But the coyotes were there, the coyotes, and they were howling at the moon. It was just amazing. And I had my little drum, and I was like, oh, witchy magic moment. A Cosmic says, for me, it's my ADHD brain. I'm pretty sure I have that too, just undiagnosed. um, and then Greta, like your current reading. Interesting. Well, welcome, welcome. And by the way, we have super chats and super stickers after this light activation that we're going to do. So if you're interested, I do some readings afterwards with the super chats and super stickers. So that might be fun. Susie said, chills. Cosmic Ring says, that sounds like a movie. Dude, it felt like I was in a movie. I was like, what is happening right now? John says, I love that you have that connection. It's been so amazing, where I don't feel like the animals fear me too much, and I don't really fear them. It's like there was a whole pack of coyotes, and I never felt like they meant me any harm. They knew that I wasn't going to hurt them, and that was cool. Just all the animals. It's kind of nice that we have this like kind of respect for each other. Of like, of course, they're not going to be like, let's hang out in the home together and be besties. They understand we're different species. We do different things, and as humans, we may not watch our step. Sometimes the bunny will be there being like, hi, hi. And I'm like, dude. It's like, hi, hi, whoa, oh, whoa, you're going to step on me. Whoa. It's like humans just aren't paying attention. So yeah, they gotta, keep their instincts about them. But for the most part, yeah, I love that connection with them. It's great. So yeah, Gita, welcome. John says, yeah. And then, Cosmic Ring says, so happy I found you when I did. Yay! So yeah, let's do our light activation, and then let's pull a card for Cosmic Ring. I think that'll be fun. So I want to use the drum first. I want to kind of get the energy flowing, kind of open up the area, and kind of create a portal of sorts. And this activation, let me sit with it for a second. Let's see where my higher self would like to place this activation. It's showing a beautiful light connecting to the heart and the third eye. So yes, it connects to all chakras, but what we are looking to do is to open up the heart chakra, open up our intuition, our truth, also connected to our third eye, allowing us to really feel into our intuition, understand what our intuition is trying to tell us through our heart space, understand what our emotions are trying to tell us again through our heart space. So as this information pours in through our third eye and through our heart, that we may integrate this information. So that's going to be what the light language activation is going to be for today. John says, when I lived in the middle of nowhere, the coyotes talking around the full moon really brought me comfort. Yeah, me too. Like I said, I wasn't scared at all. It just felt good. It felt really good. And Lily says, ooh, the ancestors behind you have their drums ready too. Heck yeah, let's go. Okay, so let's just open up circle, and then let's do some activation. So All right. It's open. Let's go. Hey, Liesel is here. Hey, hey, hey. Kayla says, hi, Liesel. I was just thinking, where's Liesel? Yay. Okay. Chingare di scampetera, chingare si un paterera, chingare ya sta, chingare chingare tera, chingare siamo tera, chingare anna, chicabere tenga, chingbatea, chingahata pinge, haite, hat, chingama, da, chicata, hatenet, chingam. Der kanina tira sukorana tiriskai onnekena honinigata skon hatakatskinte ondabankinte tarskingararani ganti saparita kona hotet skanskararinga magno okte betratiakna nito ishumanta israma hetek chikana patti hatti harepti hata bedeti bedapti hata handechika haragaptik era atik aret akatak atik anama hai hairama hainama hainama hanaptikit aret kambeka rempe hanimaskara kat chikaretia Ośmie, ośmie gatepet ponaleam meskonba. Penta, penamopta, peramta, paramta, paramta, paramta. Unshtaba, osh, anda, anna, tikapa, japa, inna sasparana dalamala. Anshingana me'ela salamanana. La skolo shola manana solama. Mila sola tiada berakhala maya. Alla mila salamala. Ola mina sama. Ola mina nayama. Ola male masama. Chukampa, 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 chukampeta, chukampa, chukampa, chukamparapita, shamare yamasamal, yalala yamanashal, Allah misalalama, Allah chukampa, 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 oshameta ya, oya maya chukapa. Shakapa, shakapa, oshakamateka, kanimesanana, onlavashkoma, sha, unchukpita, tolamata, shalalalamekaya, ya, bisama, ayapa, chika, mayama. Peronepekes zamanakaya me ashkantapa rambekatea ramanike miramaya khana ikotompach betchkape bede eshnebe atarpa. Alo. All right. Well, that was interesting. Wow, that felt so good. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, wow. So hopefully you guys got to tap in with that as well. My goodness. Oh, yay, Susie. Thank you. Thank you. I'm let me just go back here. Wow, missed a lot of your comments. And oh, Rada, yes, I would definitely be happy to pull you a card as well. Lisa said, hey, Susie, how are you? Susie saying, beautiful. Missed you, Lisa. Kayla said she missed Susie, missed all you guys. Lily said, I understand. Cosmic Ring, can someone explain? Oh, yeah, what she's connecting to. And Lisa says, good to see you, Susie. Yeah, I've been away too. I'm glad you're doing well, sweetheart. And Lisa says, welcome, babes. I was worried what with the recent events down your way. Ah, I see. And Susie said, Lisa, I'm safe. I will fill you in soon. I promise. Lily says, blessings with the path of divine feminine. You think you are powerful in your masculine energy. Your feminine energy is about to blow everything out of the water. Wow. And Angela, hey, Angela, this is blessings. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a beautiful, good day and lots of love and lots of light and blessings, you beautiful souls today. Amen. Kayla said, that was so beautiful. I felt it in my body. I felt like it was vibrating or something and in my heart. So yeah, to answer the question from before about what I was doing. So what it is just I allow my higher self to connect to basically source energy, the energy that we all are, that kind of light energy. And again, the intention for the activation was to open up that heart chakra and open up that third eye so that there is a clear communication between the two, understanding one's truth and intuition and being able to see it clearly and understand it fully and clearly. And it was interesting because it felt like all all of my ancestors coming through too to speak, as well as I guess if you could put frequency into words, which I is interesting because it doesn't come out like a word we would understand, but it's just like the tones and the consonants and the vowels all just connecting to a particular vibration or frequency. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I wouldn't mind doing more in the future, or maybe like doing some just like on the channel. It's like a video, but I feel like that's something my higher self wants to do. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Lily says, I felt so many divine feminines around you. Definitely. Like it was a mega, like divine feminine. And John says, when I connect to light language videos, I often wonder how much of it's genetic connection versus spiritual family influence. I felt it was a mixture of the two, like a dual mix, kind of like Oshomoko and Sepaktanal, the primordial couple. Lisa says, I love the activation, Tara babes. Angela says, hugs to the whole chat who wants a hug, soul hugs. Kayla says, yes, more of these for sure. And Stormy Fever, yay, yes, we will definitely pull you a card. Angela says, it's speaking in tongues, but it's not in the horror film version. Exactly, yeah. And so Susie also saying, please do make more of them. Cosmic Ring says, it felt like I was vibrating, but it was to the extent I wish I was stronger in my spirit like that. Beautiful. And John says, I think that would be wonderful. Okay. All right. All righty then. Okay. So let me go all the way back to the beginning. I believe that was with, excuse me, Cosmic Ring. So let me pull you a card. What deck do I want to use? I want to use the Divine Animals Oracle. Okay, let's do that. So, all right, we're going to use the Divine Animals Oracle. Connect to my little animal allies. Okay. All right, Cosmic Ring. So let's pull a card for any messages your higher self would like you to know right now. And again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a supporter, being your amazing self, being an all-around beautiful soul. Oh, all right. So we have hyena, fear, but you know, it's also like that balance between the two things, you know, light and shadow, masculine and feminine. And it feels like right now, when it comes to those two, I mean, we have so many different aspects of ourselves, but when it comes to, let's say, our masculine aspect and our feminine aspect, even though that there are aspects that live within us, I feel like sometimes there might be a fear with that. We might fear that we're not enough masculine, you know, that maybe I don't take enough action, or, you know, what happens if I took too much action? What happens if I really, you know, stood with authority? What happens if I was the leader of something? What happens when I rely solely on my logic? Like, is it good enough? And so sometimes we have these, you know, fears within ourselves, but we also have fears in our feminine. What if my wild and creative feminine becomes too much? What if I'm too receiving and I'm not enough giving? You know, what if my intuition leads me astray? And we have all of these different fears within us. So what your higher self is asking you to do at this time, instead of worrying about the things that you fear, let's look at the things that you feel confident in. And when you stand in that confidence, when you stand in that energy, then we can take a look from that place at one by one, instead of all the things at once, what we might have a fear in. So let's say you have a fear in your intuition, although your intuition is something that you want to strengthen, something that you're like, wow, it really fascinates me. I want to have a stronger intuition. But there's that little part of me that says, well, if I did strengthen my intuition, what would I see? What would I hear? What would I feel? And remember, it's the unknown. It's the unknown that our ego fears, because it has no concept of a future. It can't see beyond itself. It can only see in the past. And so if in the past, all my learning about intuition is something scary, then it can't see the way forward. And so in understanding that, we don't want to, yell at our ego or anything like that, but we know that that's an area for healing. So perhaps for you, the next area of healing is to go in and, where have I been programmed, or who told me, or how did I learn that my intuition is something that I should be fearful of? And again, it didn't have to be malicious. Somebody, probably didn't tell you, hey, you should never listen to your intuition. I doubt that happened. But sometimes we just pick it up from other people. Sometimes we might see that our parents are scared of their intuition. They have trouble utilizing it, and we subconsciously pick it up as a child. Maybe it's through the movies that we watch. It's through the music that we listen to. It's through, all these different, outlets. And we end up having this kind of, the world is centered around our logic and not so much around our intuition. So we may not trust our intuition. So that's, definitely within your power to heal, though. Anything that we find that we need healing, if we have the ability to create it, we also have the ability to heal it. So if we've created that fear within ourselves, you also have the ability to heal it. And in healing it, you'll notice that your intuition will naturally become stronger. And it already was strong, but it was there might have been a veil over it, because it was the kind of, I'm a little leery about, really allowing this to expand. So, take your time with it. Of course, you have free will. You don't have to do anything you don't want to, but this is just something that your higher self is coming forward saying, hey, this is time to really look into the healing surrounding your own personal intuition, because you have a beautiful intuition and it's time for it to grow. But it needs a little love, a little TLC. So thank you so much. And Susie says, just missed you in KWT. Thank you for being you. Oh, thank you, Susie. But you know what? I want to pull you a card anyway. So let me pull you a card. Okay. Okay, Susie, when I was tapping into you, I was getting Janis Joplin singing. That's interesting. Take a little piece of my heart now, baby. Take a little piece of my heart, yeah. All righty. Cosmic Ring says, thank you for the reading. You're very welcome. Hold on, let me, whoa, get back here. Okay, Susie, there we go. Just a little message for Susie, something from her higher self. Maybe it is Janis Joplin coming through. Ooh, release the jaguar. Whoa, that is such a beautiful feminine release. Actually, Susie, what was coming through is, I know that there's a lot that you've been going through. And it feels like the reason I feel like Janis Joplin energy was coming through is because a lot of people saw Janis as having a very like masculine type energy, that she was very sexual being, but she was also very like straightforward and, things like that. And it might have been actually a beautiful balance between her feminine and her masculine, although a lot of people would say that she is more masculine in her music and the way she looked and the way she interacted and things like that. But it was a beautiful balance between the two. And how she released was she allowed her divine feminine and her intuition to kind of guide her and lead her. She kind of like allowed things to flow through her, and then she used the masculine to push it out, and to release it. And so for her, it was obviously through her music, through her voice, and all of this. So for you, again, allow yourself to kind of feel into that intuition. It doesn't always have to be, like a feminine way of releasing, but we can release utilizing our feminine and our masculine. So as you feel into that flow of like, what am I feeling at this time? What am I, what's coming up for me at this time? I feel that in my body, and I'm going to use my masculine to push it out. I'm going to use my masculine to put it into something creative or something, maybe even logically pleasing, but I do feel this, like I got to push it out, and I can use my masculine to do that, but I'm going to use my feminine to show me what actually needs to be pushed out, if that makes sense. So I do appreciate the imagery on the card, but it also feels like, as feminine as this may look, it's the masculine that's also helping to push that release. So yay. Susie says, will do, Tara. All righty. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, and then we had our friend Radha. It says, just want to know if I have my ancestors supporting me in my present endeavors and if any messages from them. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, Radha. Let's go ahead and pull a card. Okay, Radha. Before I pull a card, kind of when I was just tapping into, by the way, maybe it's just like the dance of divine feminine energies right now, but it seemed like, well, it wasn't all feminine energy around you, but I felt like these older women, and they had this little, is kind of like a dipped plate, and it had like a red spice on it and it stains your fingers, but it's like a red spice, and they kept dipping their fingers in the red powder or the red spice. And I could see like this masculine energy as well. And he was blue. And he was amongst all the females. And he seemed like he was a good balance between, you know, his feminine and his masculine too. But yeah, that's just kind of the energy I saw around you. It's like this blue. It didn't really seem like a man. He was like a being, like a blue being. But yeah, kind of looked like a man. Surrounded by these older women. And again, they have this like red spice that stained your fingers, and they kept like putting their fingers in it and going like this. But let's go ahead and pull a card. Radha says it's called Roli in Hindi. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's yeah, they kept just showing the red, the Roli, the red spice, red powder. Okay. Ah, we have change, chameleon. Okay, so something that these much older women, like the beautiful white hair that they have, um, they were saying that you're kind of you're going into a new phase. Not only is this a new year, but it's just a new level of development. And sometimes we lose sight of how change could be good in our lives, because when we become adults, it seems like change comes less often. But when we're children, we see change all the time because we're growing taller. We can physically see that we're growing out of our clothes. We're growing out of our shoes. We see our faces changing in the mirror. We see our hair getting longer. You know, boys might start to see, you know, facial hair growing on their face. And so change is just an everyday thing when we're much younger. But as we get older, it might be harder to view that change. I'm sure we might see things in the mirror gradually happening. We might notice more wrinkles, or, you know, our hair turning white and things like that. But the change is so slow that we forget that change is always happening on a daily basis. It's happening at a cellular level. And so when adults are faced with bigger changes in their lives, like perhaps there's a change in occupation, maybe there's a change in our health, maybe there's, you know, a change in our friends that surround us or our family, we might view it as something bad or negative because we like the status quo. We get really comfortable in things, and it's like, you know, I'm very comfortable with like my life and the way things are going, and maybe, you know, we might say it's not the best, but I'd rather just, you know, stay in what's comfortable than, you know, worrying about having to change. But, you know, change is inevitable, and sometimes we can't stop it. And sometimes it's not that the universe is doing it to us. Our own soul is bringing that change in for us. But we think it's happening to us, but really we were the ones that brought it in. So if you've been noticing that change is occurring and you might feel a little trepidation about it and like, oh, you know, but know that this is just, if you tap back into the aspect of you when you were much younger, when you were a child, how this was just something that was a part of everyday life. If you can tap back into that, it will help this like transition into this new phase of your life to be much more smooth, a lot easier. So, and know that the women and that blue being, they're all behind you because they understand change. In fact, they've been through the great change. They've crossed over, and they understand it's just another state of being, just like, you know, any other change. You know, with our jobs, with our understanding, our beliefs, and things like that. And although we might feel like death is like one of the biggest changes, they're saying it's still just a change nonetheless, and nothing ever really dies. And so even though let's say we're letting go of an old belief system, it's not really dead, but we are letting it go and we can still learn from it, but we don't have to have it within our vessel in order to understand it. We can let it go and still learn from it. Just like your ancestors are saying, who surround you, and they are so for, backing you up on whatever it is that you choose, that, you can, live in that flow. They will back you with that. So yeah, you're on the right path. Yeah, you're doing good. And when I say path, I don't think there's ever a wrong path. I never feel we're off our path. We take detours, we go the scenic route sometimes, but we're never off our path. All of it's for learning. So hopefully that connects with you. Thank you, thank you. Let's go back here. The next one was, I'm just scrolling through, Stormy Fever. All right. Okay. So we have our friend Stormy Fever. And then we have our friend Tess. And then John. And then Cosmic Conversations. So Stormy Fever, Tess, John, and Cosmic Conversations. Yay! Excellent. Okay, so Stormy Fever, just let me know what your question is, or I could just tap in and pull a message from your higher self too. Tess said, yay, thank you. Angela's saying, welcome to everyone coming in today. Remember, most of our mods today keep the chat friendly, so we all have fun and enjoy the live stream together. Yay, thank you. Thank you to my mighty, mighty moderators. Stormy Fever says, tap in, please, from my higher self. All right, will do. Okay. And so for people who are coming in, we're doing super chats and super stickers for card pulls. So if you're interested in a card pull, check out super chats and super stickers. Okay. Okay, Stormy Fever, I started hearing the Sarah McLachlan song, In the Arms of the Angel, fly away from here. That's such a pretty song. For some reason, it makes me so sad, but it's such a pretty song. But yeah, Sarah McLachlan. Ooh, okay. Let's see what we got here, Stormy Fever. Ooh, kindness. Fruit bat, also known as the flying fox. Okay. That's so beautiful. Ah, okay. Your higher self is asking you at this time to allow yourself to be held sometimes. Your higher self says, although you're a very giving, wonderful person, you are always thinking of other people, and sometimes you think of others so much that you forget to allow others to think and care for you. And although sometimes it says, you may be working on it where you're like, well, yeah, I let people compliment me and maybe give me gifts sometimes, but it says sometimes you feel kind of awkward about it, where it's the receiving, because you fear that there might be an imbalance. Like, what if I receive too much? What if I'm taking too much from others? But it's saying, there's a balance to everything, and you have to really rely on your intuition for that. But allowing someone to care for you, to hold you, to help you, is allowing them to express themselves. They are, everybody's in this kind of symbiotic relationship. And so if somebody has come into your sphere and they want to help you, that's because their higher self has led them to help you. And their higher self wants them to show the act of kindness, the act of giving, and that's part of their soul's mission. And so coming into an alignment with you, since it is symbiotic, since it is a co-creation, your higher self is saying now you've come into this energy of this person who is ready to give, and you are ready now to receive. And so if you look at it that way, it becomes less of like, oh, I just, I'm not trying to take from all these people, understanding that you are giving a lot. It's not like you're just sitting there receiving, 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 and that you've given nothing. You give a lot, all the time. It doesn't have to be physical, material gifts, but you give a listening ear, you give of your heart, you give of your emotions, you give of your time, you think about people a lot. That's a lot of giving. Even when people are in your thoughts, even when they're in your prayers and things like that, this is all the act of giving. It's not always a physical act, but it is an energetic one. And so again, this is allowing yourself to be held by others, allowing others to take care of you, because if they're wanting to do that, that's because their soul is calling them to do that, because they need to do that. Perhaps they've been in a receiving mode for a long time and they want to give. They want to give to someone. They want to give to you. So allow them to do that. Allow them to express their soul. And I think it will be easier for you to receive and to be held when you understand that that's part of that person's soul mission, is right here in this moment, this present moment. They want to give something to you. Maybe they are giving you the listening ear. Maybe they're giving you advice. Maybe they're giving you something of their heart, or maybe it is something tangible. But they are doing that at this time because it is part of their own learning, part of their own soul mission. And so when we understand that, and we understand that we are placed in their path for a reason, because we are also on our soul mission. And my mission at this time is to receive just as much as their mission is to give at this time. And so when we understand more of this energetic balance, this creation, you will start to see more of that balance in your life, because no longer are we feeling blocked because of shame, or we feel greedy, or whatever it may be. We know that those are all just things that we need to heal and to take a look at, and why we might feel that way. And we create more of an open channel. So I hope that makes sense. Oh my goodness, such a beautiful energy. Stormy Fever says, it's making me cry. So beautiful. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. Okay, so then we had, let me go back here. We had our friend Tess, and she said, thank you. They were beautiful. Whoa, hold on. It like flew away from me every time I'm trying to like look at it. Okay. I was just writing this morning about the importance of tuning into my emotions, heart, and intuition for guidance. Okay, so let's take a look at that then. So let's look into tapping, or helping you to tune into your emotions, your heart, and your intuition. Okay, let's do that. Emotions, heart, and intuition. How we can open up that channel a little bit more. Okay. Okay, before I pull a card, Tess, I was seeing like a child going along the sidewalk, seeing all the beautiful flowers in people's yards, and like a child, just going fully with what their heart wants, fully of what their intuition, how it's guiding them, going to each of these gardens and plucking those flowers. Sees a red flower, I'm going to take the red flower. And ooh, I want to take this pink flower. And ooh, there's beautiful leaves here. And bringing them together to create a beautiful bouquet. And it says, and it's showing at some point there's the adult that comes out that's scolding the child and saying, you can't take those from people's yards. That's not okay. And although the parent is trying to teach the child boundaries, that everybody has their boundaries. Some people have pretty things and they don't want their pretty things to be touched. But at the same time, the child is also learning not to trust their intuition, because they were just going fully with what their eyes saw, what their heart felt, what their intuition felt. And they said, I see a pretty flower and I'm going to make a pretty bouquet. I'm going to take that flower and that flower and that flower. I'm going to make something really pretty. And so, like I said, before I pull this card, what I'm feeling is, how could we mesh the two? How can I be that child that sees something beautiful and I want to create something new, utilizing my intuition? I see all the beauty around me. I can take all that beauty and I can create something even better. Taking all these flowers from all these different neighbors, creating this beautiful bouquet, but at the same time, doing what my parent is trying to teach me and understanding the boundaries of people. So perhaps it's finding the beauty in people, the beauty in what they can create. How can I bring all of their special skills together to create something new while respecting their boundaries, but at the same time utilizing my intuition to find that beauty? So that was just something that came to mind. But like I said, let me pull a card. Okay. Ooh, we have news, Raven. Okay. And so for me, Raven is the, especially in Native culture, Raven is the also kind of known as like a trickster, kind of like coyote, but like less silly, but more of like this magical transformative being. It could turn itself into whatever it wants. It's almost like a mesomorph or something like that. And so yeah, your higher self just kind of wanting you to know that, as you try and tap into more of your emotions and your intuition and all of this, is really taking a look at the beauty that's around you, the beauty that you find in people, the beauty you find in movies and music and situations, and maybe even the beauty you find in your own clothing, when you're getting dressed in the morning. And how can I take that pull that I have towards, I want to wear this shirt, I want to hang around this person, I want to go to the park today. My intuition is leading me to these things that make me feel emotionally good. And in doing this, taking these little bits and pieces, I'm going to wear, this shirt today. I'm going to, like, let's say for me, I'm going to come to my best friend's house. I'm going to the places and doing the things that light me up. So in essence, you are that child taking those beautiful flowers from all the different gardens, but I'm also respecting boundaries, meaning I'm not stealing the shirt to wear the shirt today. I'm not coming unannounced to my friend's house, but I am doing the things while respecting boundaries, while creating something new and beautiful in my life. And so that would be a way to really honor your emotions, honor your intuition, honor your divine feminine, while at the same time respecting boundaries. So that, yeah, you can continue to kind of open up those things in your heart space. So, yay! I love that for you. That's beautiful. Wow, I love that for you. Really, really. Okay, so let's go back to our other friends here. Actually, it's our buddy John. Hey. Okay, so John, and then Cosmic Conversations, and then Lisa. So John, let me know what your question is. It says, I have a feeling there's a message from my light body. If there aren't open to the connection, I'll take a general. Okay, all right. But I am kind of feeling your light body as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I was seeing, I assume the man is you, standing kind of like on a cliff, like the Fool card. But these words came through. It says, the man does not fall. He is merely taking a step. The ego may see it as a fall or something that is scary. But really, there is safety in that step because the man has created it. The man would not stand at the cliff if he did not bring it there himself. The man created the precipice, and the man created the step. The man also creates the safety. So what others may see as a blind leap of faith, or perhaps even a fall, is a miracle in the eyes of others. For the man does not fall. He merely takes a step in the next direction. This is something he needs, and he's created it for himself. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's pull a card on that one. Interesting. Sean says, my neck just popped 3 times as soon as you connected. Wow. Wow, that was interesting. That was like a quick channel of your light body. I didn't expect that. That was alrighty. Angela says, turn on the cosmic soul light, flips all the switches. Yes, okay. Secrets, links. Okay, so kind of what I was getting in that very brief, made me a little dizzy, that very brief channeling. Wow, John, hold on. You have a very strong energy. Let me just, okay. So it's saying that along this journey, obviously for everyone, there are times when things become more apparent to us, things that become revealed to us. But sometimes we look at it as we're waiting for the universe's permission. Like the universe thinks I'm ready now, and that's why I can see all the things I do now, or that's why I understand the things I do now. And really what it is that it's you. It's always been you. So if for a time there were things you didn't understand, it's because you decided that you weren't ready to understand. And so now when things are being revealed, it's because you decided that it was time to reveal those things. You've always had all of the information, all of the answers have always been here inside of you. And it's you that's telling you when you are ready. And so don't take this as I need to reveal all things now, because that's the journey. That's the next step. It's just in the understanding of that, because you've created that next step and you've created this understanding in this moment. I'm ready to take that step because I created this step. I also created my safety net, and I also created what it was that I allow myself to see at this time. And what I see, I've always seen, I've always known. It's just I told myself I wasn't quite ready yet, but you are. And so that's why this message is coming forward. So anything that's going on in your life right now, any mind-blowing expansion, any plateaus that you've had, any halts, but also any, moments of growth have all been created by you. They've always been you. And they've been you for your journey. You've been doing this for yourself. You've decided that, hey, I'm not ready for this at this time because I'm going to put myself in alignment with these situations that occur in my life that's really going to help me grow and I think I'll be even more ready for when I do reveal this thing to myself. But at first, I want to get myself through these different lessons, these different trials, these different stages of growth. And then when I think I have those tools, then I'll show myself another nugget, another piece. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, it was just it's all been you, and you're creating whether or not you're ready, and you're also creating the information. You're creating everything. So, wow. Oh my goodness. John says, every step can be starting my day on the right foot with a little perspective. Thank you so much. Yeah. And what you consider the right foot is also up to you. And the perspective that you choose is also up to you on any given day. So, yay, 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 yay. Thank you, John. Wow. That was interesting. Interesting. Okay, and then we have our friend Cosmic Conversations. Yay! So, Cosmic, if you had put your question there before, I may have missed it, so you may need to repeat yourself. But yeah, let me know if you just want like a general from your higher self, or you have an actual question. We could take a look at that. And with some, we are doing super chats and super stickers. If you are interested, it could be anything. Some people just donate $1 or whatever it may be. Okay, Cosmic Conversation says just anything from my higher self. Okay, will do. And then we have our friend Liesel. So, okay, so. Okay, Cosmic Conversations. I was seeing, it was a visual at the same time I was hearing like music. And it's not just one of my godsons that's singing in the shower right now, I think. But it was, it was seeing you like in a car, but like a really badass car, and like, you know, big old Hemi engine, and just just I see you just like dumping the clutch, throwing it in second, and just pedal to the floor. And at the same time, it's this music. And I don't know if you guys know who Moog is. It's Moog. But Moog used to be part of what was called Mighty Mighty Car Mods. And he would create music for their little, their like YouTube, I wouldn't say little YouTube like channel. They have an actually really large YouTube channel. And one of his songs, it's like kind of like a techno. It's like dun, 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 dun. It's a pedal to the floor. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, it's playing this music, and all I hear is pedal to the floor, and I just see you just dumping the clutch, just like pop it. Like let's throw this thing into squealing some tires, burn some rubber. Interesting. Let's see what that means. Okay. Ooh, okay. This kind of goes with pedal to the flow. Fierceness, Wolverine. Okay, let's tap into this. Cosmic Conversations. Okay, so I know how we were talking about like divine masculine, divine feminine energy, that we have all of these energies within us. And it feels like, you've been a pretty good balance, between the two. But it feels like you've been in a waiting period, which can also be part of the divine feminine, when it's like you've been waiting for something to happen, whether you're feeling like worldly stuff is waiting, but more of this is like like I'm waiting to do something in my life, but I just need confirmation. Like I'm waiting to see the thing that gives me the green light to just like dump the clutch and throw this thing into second. Like, let's go now, because it seems like you've been revving your engine for a while. You've been sitting there waiting, for the checkered flag, just like I'm revving, I'm waiting, that the RPMs are rising. I'm ready to go. It's like you've been trading for this, you've been waiting for this, you've been chomping at the bit. And at the same time, yes, you've been in your divine feminine. You've allowed yourself to wait instead of prematurely jumping the gun or the flag, so to speak. But it's you've been doing the work. You've been receptive. You've been allowing the intuition and the downloads to come in. And now that like, I'm just ready to like, let it go. Like, let's go. It feels like that time is coming. So it could be as fast as like this week for let's get a move on, let's do this. But if it's not this week, it's soon. But I really do feel it's soon. This thing is happening now. So at the same time, just like any driver or any runner or any person who's ever been at some sort of start line, there's going to be nerves. You're going to feel the butterflies in the stomach. There's going to be, of course, the, oh my gosh, am I really ready for this? But yes, you are ready. You've been ready. Like I said, you're at like 7,000 RPM right now. You are ready to go. It's coming because you've manifested it, because you've brought it into your reality. It wouldn't be in your reality if you weren't ready. And so, and just like, and don't feel like just because it hasn't been in your reality yet that you weren't ready. You were ready for being receptive. You were ready for being in your wild and creative divine feminine. You were ready for that. Now we're ready for the masculine to like really just, drive this. So I hope this makes sense to you. Like I said, yeah, it's like, I just see like the start line, like, let's go. I'm ready. Let's see. Let's go back here. Sorry if I'm missing a lot of your comments too, by the way. But I know that you guys talk amongst each other and have a good time. And Tess said, thank you. That was so beautiful and synchronistic. I am a gardener. Oh my gosh. We were talking about flowers. Oh my God. That's wonderful. I like that. Cosmic Ring was wondering if your light body and not higher body are different. This is something that came up in somebody's, I did a channeling for some, by the way, if you guys don't know, I do like one-on-one channelings with people, like not just for the videos. And they're private. So like, obviously I don't put other people's channelings on my channel, but, somebody was asking if there was a difference between their higher self and their soul, or like some of them called their higher self their light body. Some people called their soul their light body. And basically what it was is that, let's say there's the ego, there's the very like 3D version of ourself. Then there's the higher self. We might say that's like the everything, the all, the connection to source. And technically the ego, I mean, if we're going to get like really technical, that's everything is part of source, including our ego. But anyway, just to have differentiation, we would say this is our 3D self. This is our higher self connected to source, everything. It is source. And somewhere in the middle, we could say is also our soul, even a version of our light body that is a little bit of a mix of the ego. So, and it's a little bit of a mix of our higher self. It's kind of where the two meld together and become one. And I would say it's part of what we connect to when we're connecting with spirits. And in spirit, spirit may say, I look like this. I had this occupation. I was a mother, or I was a father. I was a sister. I was a brother. And that's the ego perception of itself. So it still retains its ego earthly perception, at the same time understanding it's also a soul. And I think that's where the two become one, somewhere in the middle. So I think that's the best explanation I have. I don't know, but that's just my perspective. I'm not saying I'm like right. That's just from my point of view. Somebody else might have a different point of view. Let me go back here. Cosmic Conversation says, thank you. Yes, definitely so much waiting and healing. Well, your car is started. It's really warmed up. It's ready to go. So, so like I said, it's whatever it is, it's coming soon. Like I said, it could be this week, but if not this week, then very soon. Okay. And then I think we had our friend Lisa, my other sister. Lisa, let me just go back. Okay, Tara, could you channel Guinevere for me, please? I sure can. And I would be happy to, because me likes me some Guinevere. Angela says, glad you liked it. I feel super poetic today, more so than normal. Angela, I always love your poems. Cosmic Ring says, I have so many more questions, but I will wait until another time. Okay. Yeah, like let things just like sit and integrate. Okay. Lisa, here we go. Guinevere. Lisa, come stand with me on the hill of emeralds. From afar, there are those that would think that we did live on emeralds, that what we stand now is on a beautiful jewel. But as you get closer, you realize the emeralds are but grass. And even closer, you notice the grass is made up of individual blades. And closer still, that there are other individuals that make those individual blades. And sometimes from afar, things may appear one way. Not that the individual blades of grass or the emeralds that people might perceive from afar are anything less beautiful or worthy, but it's what they seek that they think they see. And sometimes when we place expectation on something, we might perceive what we think we want. And so from those looking from afar, if they perceive that we are standing on a mountain of emeralds, and the green of the emerald being connected to the beautiful green within their heart, then perhaps they are looking for the beauty within themselves, but they think that it is outside themselves. So they're constantly chasing that beautiful emerald green, when really they chase themselves. But you know that you are not standing on emeralds. You are standing in the grass with me on the hill. And so your perspective might be different, but perhaps this is what you have yearned for, to stand on these blades of grass. And so why is it that this is your expectation? To be here in the grass with me. Again, it just being perspective. Because if you were the perspective of the ant would not see itself as standing on top of a hill full of grass. It would see a forest of blades, a very dense and tall forest, dark at times. And perhaps this is what they expect and what they yearn for. They want their journey to be somewhat mysterious. But you're looking for perspective at this time, to stand at the top of the hill, to be able to see all. But what is it that you see? Do you see the different villages and the people, the castles, the dragons overhead? But why do you yearn to see these things? Because remember that all these things are within you. The villages, the people, even the emeralds that people see, the individual blades of grass, and the hill that you stand upon are all within you. So really what you're looking for is perspective within yourself, not perspective of the world. And sometimes we confuse the world for being something external. And in an essence, it is somewhat, but it's an external creation of what we've created internally. So next time you grab the sword, I want you to look at the reflection in the blade and understand the duality of perspective. The blade is not only used in defense, it's been used to harm, it's been used to heal, it's been used to seek truth, and it's been used to keep truth from occurring. All things are double-edged. No right, no wrong, but a beautiful balance between the two. And when you look in the sword, the reflection is you. Wow. Wow, thank you, Liesl, for allowing me to connect to Guinevere. Wow. Very nice. Oh, wow. We have a Ganesh. Beautiful. It says leadership elephant. But yeah, I believe that's a good confirmation of the message that you received, because Ganesh also had to look at perspective in his life. As the story goes, and that he had kind of a difficult, upbringing, difficult life. There were some trials and tribulations he had to go through, but he ended up having to basically see himself not as others saw him, but as his heart truly saw himself. And so he found it difficult when he tried to conform to the way others wanted him to be, when he wasn't meant to conform at all. And perhaps, that's a part of other people's journeys is conformity and having their perspective. But your journey is not of conformity, and it's of a different perspective. And remember that we're all on our different journeys, because if we're all one, we're all creating these experiences for the learning of the whole. And this is part of your particular journey. So I hope, that it makes sense. Angela said, Guinevere's vibe is gorgeous. Yes. Hold on, my ear is ringing. So Guinevere could also be a person, but I would say Guinevere is also connected to the like Tales of Camelot, and King Arthur. Guinevere was basically King Arthur's lady, but there's a whole like story about her. Wow, I'm real dizzy from that too. Wow, so much energy just like flowing through. But yeah, she was a very powerful character in her own right. She created a lot of things for the growth of others. Just like sometimes we might play the bad guy in some people's realities, but that's because we had to play that role for their growth. And sometimes we play the quote unquote good guy, and we need to play that role again for their growth. But Liesl said, whoa, thank you, Tara. Thank you, Gwynnie. That's deep. I get the metaphors. I have chills. So, and Angela says, drink water. I will after the chat, because the water is downstairs. But I think that's the last of our readings today, no? If I'm not mistaken. I think that is. Yay! Okay. Well, thank you everybody who allowed me to channel for them, read for them today. This has been amazing. Thank you so much. We will go on to our channel guided meditation next. I always enjoy doing that too. So Angela says, also my new Christmas doll sends her greetings and love. Her name is Tara Rose. She wanted to come sit with me while I listened. Aw. Well, thank you. And thank you everybody who came in. So let me pull a card to see kind of what direction this channel guided meditation will take. And by the way, thank you, Susie, and to all of my my mighty moderators for always making our chat a safe and pleasant place. Thank you. Angela's like, she's my profile picture too. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Oh, I see. Oh, beautiful. John says, I'm definitely tapping into the light language activation later. Nice. And Lisa says, it's a pleasure. Yeah, I will. Excuse me. I think that I've never made a YouTube short. I think they're a minute long. I'm not sure. I never really like messed around with it, but maybe I will try to do some YouTube shorts of light activations. And also, my friend Dana had an idea for like some like random channelings. Like, yes, we have our more formal channelings where people ask questions and then the being answers, or, you know, whatever the topic may be. But sometimes I get downloads and sometimes I'm just like channeling. So like maybe I can make like impromptu, like walking through the forest channeling videos, and just kind of upload those to YouTube too. So that way there's like some impromptu ones, but there's also the formal ones. And then maybe we could start doing some light activation, like shorts. I think, yeah, let's do it. I'm so excited for this. Let's see. Silver Star says 15 at first, then 60 seconds. And Angela says, I use dolls in my, okay, so it's 15 and then 60 for the shorts. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll play around with it. Angela says, I use my dolls in my magic, but I see them as their own little selves. So no, she's not spirited, but she has her own little energy. And Mr. Jordan said, oh, right. And Susie said, she is lovely, Angela. Yes, I agree. I concur. Oh, hey, Cottonwood Star. And you know what? We have cottonwood trees just as you start getting up into the elevation of where I live, because I'm at 6,500 feet. I'm kind of way up there. I think I'm at the same level as like Tahoe elevation. But anyway, we get the big trees as well as our shrubby junipers and things like that. But somewhere in between, as you're heading up, we have a lot of cottonwood. And Arizona is known for their cottonwood trees, actually. So I love this star card. So let's tap into this energy. Let's channel it for our guided meditation. Yay! Okay, so, oh, you know what? You guys could look at the painting on the wall because I think that's pretty badass. And I wonder who picked that out. I wonder if Tamika picked that one out. It's pretty. Okay, so that way you guys don't have to stare at my mug. Silverstar says, just play with it. I got so good at those. They seem like they're going to be fun. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I will. Angela said, thank you. And she told me you all are too. We all have our own doll beauty. Aw, we're all little dolls. Okay, so let me move out of the way here. Let me move this over here. Whoa. Okay, let's go up. There we go. Just going to zoom in just a little bit. There we go. Yay! That way, like I said, you guys have something pretty to kind of meditate on and look at while I dive into this. Okay. Go ahead and find a nice, comfortable space. A place where you will not be disturbed for the next several minutes. You could be laying in bed, sitting in a chair, sitting on a cushion, or perhaps laying underneath a beautiful tree. And once you have found a space that is cozy and comfy, I want you to bring your awareness to your breath, feeling the inhales and the exhales. And where do you feel this breath? Do you feel it in your throat, in your chest? Perhaps you feel it down into your solar plexus, or maybe all the way down into your tippy toes. But as you breathe in, I want you to place your focus on where the breath travels. Place yourself in that breath as if you were in a little vehicle being brought into your own body, traveling down into your trachea, down into your lungs, and perhaps even feeling that energy down the legs, down into the toes. And as you breathe in this energy, how does it make you feel? Does it bring you worry? Does it bring you peace? Do you feel more relaxed? Allow the breath to speak to you. And when you exhale, again, placing your consciousness in the exiting of the breath. Perhaps you are in that little vehicle, feeling the breath rise up from your legs or your solar plexus, or perhaps at the top of the lungs, or perhaps it's just in the throat. But how is it making you feel when you release that breath? And as you ponder on this, continue breathing. And know that at any point, you can place your consciousness wherever you wish in your physical body as well as externally. But within the physical body, if there's any part of you that feels sore or achy or has brought you pain, all you need to do is place your consciousness in that area. Perhaps you feel pain in the stomach. And so we bring our awareness into the stomach, in our little vehicle, moving around and around, perhaps in the intestines and in the gallbladder, in the stomach itself, looking for where the pain sits. And when you have detected it, go in there and have a chat with that organ, that cell, perhaps the blood itself, and ask it why it is in pain, or why it is sore, why it just doesn't feel good. And since the body is you, it would be more than happy to speak to you. So go there now. Go to anywhere in the body that needs a little TLC. Perhaps it feels a little malaise. Perhaps it's in the mind. Perhaps it's in your heart. Or perhaps it's more physical in your lungs or your stomach, perhaps in a leg. And bring your awareness there. Bring your consciousness there in your little vehicle. Looking at the muscle, having a talk with it, moving into the mind, finding the part of the mind that aches the most, and have a talk with it. And really listen. Allow it to speak fully before we offer it advice. And as you allow it to speak, we build a stronger connection between our soul and our physical form. The soul is you flying around in your little vehicle, moving around inside the body, offering it sage advice from you, the intuition, the soul, the higher self, offering it aid that can be utilized in this 3D world. Remember, you can move into the eyes, into your teeth, into your brain, into anywhere within your body that is crying out for attention. For everything, just like people, just like animals and plants, everything wishes to be heard. Everyone wants to be able to have a chance to speak and to express themselves. It is no different for the organs within our body, or the cells, or the blood that gives us life, or the heart that beats within our chest. For all of them are created with energy, and energy is you. It's the substance of source. It is the same for the animals and the people and the trees and the elements. Everything has consciousness. Everything is wanting to speak. And you will notice that after you allow this part of you to speak, to express itself, it no longer needs to pain you, because it was only doing so to capture your attention, because it wanted to talk. And so once you have listened to it, then you can take steps to help it to heal. But again, you will notice that the pain will begin to dissipate, because it is grateful that you have allowed it to speak, that it was able to be heard. And you can come back to this meditation at any time, for any point within your body, having a little conversation, a little chat with it. And when you are ready, bring your awareness back into your full physical body. You can wiggle your fingers and toes, and perhaps have yourself a little stretch. Oh, oh my goodness. All right, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And Angela says, just take it day by day. Amen. Yes. Lots of hugs to everyone. Susie says, beautiful. Angela said, love and hugs to everyone. Don't forget you matter today, and the world would be so much darker if it didn't have you. Don't give up. Whatever it is happening, you will be okay. We love and believe in you. Yes. Susie says, thank you, Tara and KWT. I needed this. I had gone to a very dark place, and I feel very hopeful. Well, we are all here for you, Susie. And I'm so happy that I get to do these live chats with you guys. I love hanging out with you guys on Saturdays. I'm gonna go party with my godson now. But yeah, so if you guys missed out on the readings, you can always head over to my website. I have one-card readings there as well. It doesn't have to be a full shebang, but I do have the full shebang readings as well. I also have those one-on-one channelings if you guys are interested. And again, if you want to be a guest questioner for the channeling series, just email me, tara@kittensweightsandtarot.com. That link is down below. And thank you to everybody who's already been a guest interviewer. Thank you, thank you. And I will look into doing some more, I haven't done any, so I will look into doing some YouTube shorts, like some light activations, or maybe some impromptu channelings, aside from like the formal Monday channelings. Yeah, I look forward to having more fun. And I actually have a deck review I'm working on. Haven't done one in forever, so I will do another one of those. But thank you everyone for coming in. Thank you, my mighty moderators, my subscribers, my live chat crew. Thank you. And all of my patrons and YouTube members. I love you guys so much. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.